Last night, Governor Gavin Newsom hit back against Donald Trump in the disgusting and illegal attack that he has launched on the city of Los Angeles and the peaceful protesters exercising their First Amendment right, not only calling out Donald Trump to his face live on air on MSNBC, but now today dropping a legal bombshell on his administration. And it not only has Trump panicking, but his horrible press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, as well, who melted down publicly over Gavin Newsom's latest action. We're going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way in supporting the work that we are doing. Now, before we can get into Carolyn Leavitt's meltdown, of course, we have to start with the context, and that is the call out that Gavin Newsom delivered last night and the lawsuit that he is bringing forth.
So this is, as I said, the Emergency Operations Center. I wonder how you would characterize the events that are unfolding in Los Angeles right now. Is it an emergency? Is it, Fox News is calling it the LA riots? Is it a peaceful protest? What's happening? What are you seeing?
Well, I mean, look, Donald Trump has created the conditions you see on your TV tonight. He's exacerbated the conditions. He's, lit the proverbial match. He's putting fuel on this fire ever since he announced he was taking over the National Guard. An illegal act, an immoral act, an unconstitutional act, and we're going to test that theory with a lawsuit tomorrow.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Sorry to interrupt you, but Governor, so that's news. If you're going to sue the administration, tell me a little bit about it. Give us a preview of this lawsuit.
Well, under his executive order, it specifically notes, and under what the DOD did, is they had to coordinate with the governor.
So, of course, last night, Governor Newsom called out Donald Trump's illegal act and is living up to that promise of a lawsuit, as Newsom is suing Trump over the deployment of the National Guard to L.A. amid immigration raid protests. As tensions continue to grow across Southern California following days of protest over immigration raids, there's another political battle to monitor after Governor Gavin Newsom announced he's suing the Trump administration over deploying the National Guard to Los Angeles. This is similar to the statements Newsom made in an interview with Fox's 11 over the weekend, with Newsom blasting Trump for sending the National Guard to L.A. County, which the California governor claimed was illegal and unconstitutional. Donald Trump is reckless. He's immoral, Newsom said. He's acting unlawfully. He's putting people's lives at risk, and it's my job to clean up Donald Trump's mess because he's making it by the hour. We have been covering these protests in LA nonstop since they started, and of course, the assault we've been seeing from Donald Trump's masked ICE thugs, and I have never been prouder of Governor Gavin Newsom than I was last night. That is the type of energy that we need from our elected leaders, because it's what we are seeing on the ground. We need elected Democrats to match the energy that we are seeing from protesters holding the line, standing up for their community, standing up to the illegal actions of Donald Trump. And of course, Newsom continued to call that out. And it was in this post that he made that led directly to Carolyn Leavitt responding in a complete meltdown. So let's first check out what the governor had to say.
And to property, they're potentially damaging the very foundation of our, republic. The democracy is in the balance. I mean, you're seeing these authoritarian tendencies now are being acted out by this administration. And we're case in point as it relates to nationalizing, federalizing the National Guard, threatening now to put in Marines. So I hope these people would pause and just consider. Now, some of them, they want that kind of chaos. Some ways, they're adjacent to where Donald Trump is. But the peaceful protesters, we want to keep them safe. We want them to exercise their fundamental rights. We want to keep those that are enforcing the laws in a respectful and responsible way also safe. But Donald Trump needs to pull back. He needs to stand down. Donald Trump is inflaming these conditions. This is Donald Trump's problem right now, and if he can't solve it, we will.
Donald Trump is creating this unrest. It is his goal. He wants to make a larger issue out of this. He wants it to be a political moment. Gavin Newsom talked to friend of the show, Brian Tyler Cohen, and he said very plainly, Trump is only sending the National Guard because he wants to distract from his breakup with his boyfriend, Elon, from his failing budget, and from all the other chaos that is happening in his administration. This is about dominating the news cycle. And if it's going to dominate the news cycle, we need to make sure that it is known that this is an illegal action by Donald Trump, and it is him creating the chaos that he promised would not happen under his administration. Of course, Donald Trump breaks all his promises, and then Carolyn Leavitt has to try to clean up his mess, which is what she did following this lawsuit in an insane posting meltdown responding to Governor Newsom. Carolyn Leavitt wrote 2 posts, the first starting with, "Gavin Newsom did nothing as violent riots erupted in Los Angeles for days. Federal law enforcement officials were attacked by violent radicals and illegal criminals," not true, "waving foreign flags because Governor Newsom was too weak to protect the city. The Los Angeles police chief has even said that the riots were getting out of hand. President Trump has stepped in to maintain law and order and protect federal buildings." This second post from Leavitt reads, "The riots in Los Angeles prove that we desperately need more immigration enforcement personnel and resources. Americans must reverse the invasion unleashed by Joe Biden of millions of unvetted illegal aliens into our country. That's why Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill funds at least 1 million annual removals and hires 10,000 new ICE personnel, 5,000 new customs officers, and 3,000 new Border Patrol agents." They're just giving away the game. Carolyn Leavitt is blatantly admitting it at this point. This is all just a scheme. It's a ruse. It is just a promotional attack on protesters so Donald Trump can claim, oh, we need martial law. Oh, we need the Marines. Oh, we need to pass my budget, which is universally despised. Carolyn Leavitt has made it clear that is all this is. So let's treat it like that. Let's make sure we're calling out the illegal action of Donald Trump, calling out the immoral action of these ICE agents, that we fight back with protesters, and we make clear why Donald Trump is doing this: for the media circus, for the chaos, and to serve himself. There is no other reason. Carolyn Leavitt saying that the police chief is backing Trump. It's just not true. LAPD is saying that Donald Trump is responsible for fanning the flames and causing unrest. And Gavin Newsom continued to call that out in another great interview I want to check out right here.
What is your main message to the people of California in this moment?
Well, that Donald Trump is reckless. He's immoral. He's taken the illegal and unconstitutional act of federalizing the National Guard, and he's putting lives at risk.
I mean, is it truly unconstitutional? I know it's been done before.
Well, I mean, in his own executive order, it directs the Department of Defense to collaborate with state governors. So by definition, it's illegal. There was no collaboration. There was no counsel, no consideration of the rules of engagement. It was a reckless act that has led to conditions that have been exacerbated, and it's putting people's lives at risk.
So can't he declare an insurrection and go forward with this?
Yeah, he potentially can, and there's latitude. But as it relates to the actual language in his executive order, there's a reason we're going to court tomorrow, and the reason we're confident that we will succeed. That said, he's pushing now out the boundaries, whether or not we're going to get into posse comitatus, and whether or not he's going to test the theories in that case to then require the state National Guard in a federalized posture to coordinate and collaborate with ICE enforcement, which certainly would not have a precedent in 100+ years.
You think that's going to happen?
I think we're on the precipice of that being a real possibility. I have zero confidence. He's acting recklessly. He's acting unlawfully. He's putting people's lives at risk. And it's my job to clean up Donald Trump's mess, because he's making it by the hour.
You guys talked the other night, right?
Yes, we did.
What was that conversation like?
It was a very collaborative conversation. It was a very good conversation. And he didn't really want to engage on the issues of LA, which was the great irony of this. He wanted to talk about a myriad of other issues. There was no suggestion, none, period, full stop, about the National Guard. Quite the contrary. And by the way, I have a lot of experience with the National Guard. So do you here in LA.
Right.
We've been using the National Guard. I've directed the National Guard down here prior as it relates to issues during 2020 riots. And so we have no ideological opposition of utilizing the Guard, but there's zero necessity. There was no request of mutual aid. LAPD, the Sheriff's Office, no request. CHP, more than capable. We've got 175 CHP off today because of what Donald Trump did with the National Guard.
But we see some of the images in the streets today. We see cars burning. We see freeways being shut down. We see
unacceptable.
But it's clear that things aren't totally under control right now.
That's right,
Somebody's
because he's
failing.
created the conditions.
Yeah.
He's exacerbated the conditions. This is Donald Trump's. These are images that Donald Trump created.
You think he wants it politically?
Of course he wants it politically.
Why?
Because he wants to divide us. He wants to attack the rule of law. He wants to attack the democracy. He wants to attack the best of what makes this country. The reasons our founding fathers lived and died. This fundamental notion of three independent branches. He can't handle. He's already taken over. Speaker Johnson's a joke. He's completely complicit. $2.5 trillion to your debt, wrecking the economy. Take Elon Musk's comments on that, just not mine. I mean, it's been a disastrous presidency. And so, of course, we're here with another distraction that puts, in this case, people's lives at risk. And he's testing the boundaries of the Constitution in a way that one can clearly argue is a constitutional crisis.
So how do you negotiate with somebody who may want these images?
You can't negotiate with them. Come on, no one can negotiate with them. I mean, no one can. I've gone out of great lengths to try to work with this guy. You can't work with him. You can only work for him, and I'll never work for him. And it's shameful, those that are, and that are complicit in this, and that are rolling over. And as I said, the founding fathers are rolling over in their graves right now watching this.
Do you, because the other night, he came out and said that when you guys spoke, he warned you that if you didn't get things under control, he was going to bring in troops.
Stone cold liar. Stone cold liar. He made that up, like he makes up so many other things. He never said that.
And he also seemed to make up this idea that the National Guard did a great job last night when they weren't here.
They weren't even deployed, and he claimed victory. He's lost it. He hasn't lost a step. And I saw him trip on the steps today. Yeah. I mean, this is serious. He is not the same person that I dealt with just 4 years ago. And he's incapable now of even a train of thought. He's making things up, and he's putting people's lives at risk. And he's got a band of people that are complicit in this. And that's what's so damn alarming. And we need Congress to step up, and my gosh, do we need the courts.
We need to be fighting back. Now is a time to not let Donald Trump control the narrative. It is now more than ever so important that we have independent media that is able to actually say the truth without fear of retribution from some corporate media outlet, from Donald Trump coming after us. I promise we're going to be doing that on this show. The Donald Trump administration, the Donald Trump fascist police state cannot try to scare this show. We're going to keep calling them out. And if you want to support that and the work that we're doing, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around at the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.